The bank told me that the check was never even attempted to be ran through. So that's when they said.
So where did you get the second?
Huh?
Where did you get that second check from?
From the bank. So the first check, we print our checks. We use QuickBooks to print our check from our business account. And we have multiple accounts. We have First Horizon, we have Sophie, we have multiple accounts. So we use QuickBooks whenever we're gonna pay a vendor, we print out the check. So that's where that came from. I gave them.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Yeah.
And so then that's what I did. And so the last thing I said was like, hey, have Joe come here to try to,
On May 6, 2025, body camera audio captured a fraud investigator building a case through voluntary conversation.
The checks used to purchase said vehicle are bad, and there's another check brought in that is also bad. Do you have the check?
To purchase this vehicle?
Yeah, that comes from my account.
Okay, can we see it?
Do you have the check?
Do you have, and it's in First Horizon, so what is First Horizon to you guys?
That is our bank.
Right.
Alright. And who's the account holder for it?
Joseph is the account holder for that account.
That's you?
Yeah.
That's your ID, please? So in order to sign paper, you're going to need some type of ID.
We had already signed the paper. We already did this. The bank already,
About 69?
it's already done. Like we're only collecting another payment.
Everything that's been done, do you have all the papers and stuff?
Ma'am, is your name Irene? Yeah? Is name? No. Regarding everything, okay. So, from my recollection from our conversation, basically everything went through, but now it's just waiting on. This is like a down payment for the complete payment of the car.
Yeah, so the initial down payment, which is $9,500, they've given us back checks.
Okay.
If they have any visit, a statement from whoever was involved around identifying somebody there, we're not going to ask any questions unless we Miranda.
Okay.
So we're going to do it that way. It's going to be a 52.
They've already wrote me 2 bad checks, and now they brought me a 3rd check, which we can't verify as well. So all these checks, I called their lender today to see if they can verify that check. She says they have no indication of that check, that it's basically.
Okay.
So we also ran her records, of course, and we noticed that she had a prior to this type of stuff.
Oh, so this is over the down payment of the actual.
Yeah. So the actual contract itself, I mean, it's a fundable contract. Like we have a real approval with the bank.
It's a consistent down payment.
The whole initial down
in order for make the deal to be complete.
Correct. It's $9,500. Which we've already tried them to get multiple. I said, can you just bring me cash? Because I can't do that. It's got to be a cashier's check. When I said a cashier's check is cash. Go to your bank and pull the money out. She goes, oh, they won't let me do that. I have to wait 24 hours.
And this is all within today?
Today. Okay. Literally, yeah, within today.
The reason why we're here is because there's a deal with going on with a car, from my knowledge, okay? And then with said knowledge of the vehicle, there was, for a down payment of $9,500, I guess 2 checks were brought in and they weren't good, and then another check was brought in, and then contact, which again wasn't good either. They contacted the lender, and the lender has no record of that check ever being cashed or being created, any knowledge of it whatsoever. So that's all we have an issue here when it comes to the checks. So what's going on with the checks?
Okay, so we've been trying to buy this car for probably about a month and a half, right?
Okay.
3 weeks after they were trying to get approval. 3 weeks after, they called me like, hey, we're good to go. You guys can come and you'll have the deal, whatever. You guys can move forward with like picking up the car.
Okay.
Sure, no problem. Originally it was a $7,000 down payment. We come here, then they're like, oh, the down payment is gonna be $9,500 or something like that because we're gonna waive something, yada yada. That was about 2 weeks ago, something like that. I asked them, how can I make the payment, for the down payment? I said, I can bring you a business check, like what can I make it? And then I even asked, I said, this was on a Friday or Saturday or something like that, so the bank was closed. So bring the check, and they call me on Wednesday. And they say that the check returned, the funds weren't available or something like that. So I go back.
When were you notified of that?
That was, mind if I grab my phone?
If you,
to the best of your knowledge.
To the best of your knowledge. So the first time the check didn't go through, what day was that?
Thursday of last week or something like that.
Last Thursday? Okay.
Yeah. So then that's when the check didn't go through. And so then I came in. They asked me to give them. I was here. So with the whole situation that it was 2 checks and stuff like that, I had given them the wrong check, the original check for the original deal before they had asked me to go to get the that the increase of the down payment was from 7,000. So I had originally given them, when we were here, we had 2 checks, the one for 7,000 and the one for 95. I had given him the wrong check, so I came back and I brought him the correct check, the original down payment amount of 95.
Okay, and that was on Thursday.
That was on Thursday. Not a problem. He calls me today. Well, he calls Joe today, and Joe texts me and says, emergency, Arrigo called. I said, okay, no problem.
Who's Joe?
The gentleman that's right next to me.
Who's he?
He is my partner, my son's dad.
Okay.
So, his name is who the account
is. Is it like a
It's his account.
Oh, it's his account. So it's a loan that's going to him.
No. So the vehicle is for both of us. We both signed for the vehicle.
Oh, you're co-signers.
Yeah, we both signed for the vehicle, but the bank where the funds are coming from is his bank. It's his main account. That's the account where the check is written out of. So he calls me, tells him that Mayor called him and told him that there was an issue with the check.
Yeah.
I come here immediately to try to address it, to try to figure out what's going on. I call the bank. The bank obviously tells me, that the payment returned or whatever not, that they can put a stop payment to the check or something like that, and that they can, and then the funds would be back in my account the next day. Within 24 to 48 hours, they could, because when you get like a printed draft, they take the funds out to put them into the check or something like that. I'm not sure. So I came here with them and I said, listen, what do you want me to do? I said, do you want me to go to the bank and get you another check from the bank, or do you want me to give you, give you the funds that I have on another account and then come in the morning with the remaining balance? And then he was the one that said, no, I'll send you to the bank with your, I'll send you to the bank with somebody. So one of his salesperson took me to the bank, went to the bank, came back, and that's the check that I gave him. And then he was just telling me like he already called and he cleared, everything was good, not a problem. Have Joe come because we have to re-sign the buyer's order, and that's it. And then you guys walked in when we were about to do that.
Okay.
They haven't, the last check that I brought him, they don't know if it cleared or not or anything, because he told me that he had called to verify and that, on his end it was fine, but he still had to take it to the bank and try to get it cashed and whatever not.
So as of right now, you have tried to clear 2 checks with this company?
As of right now, I have, 1 check in the return, so I give him, this is the check that returned says the funds weren't available, and this is
That check was that was the check for $9,500.
Yeah, it's only 1 check for $9,500. That is the deposit. That is the down payment. And so then the other thing is, that was the down payment. The company that I guess financed the vehicle, which was American Credit Acceptance, I called them this morning to find out if they already paid them and they issued funding, and they told me that they had. The only thing that they were missing from them was some paperwork, but that it was already in funding, and so that they received the additional difference of the funds, which was the 20,000 and some change.
What check number that was that they gave me?
It starts with a 9, I believe. Or something.
Okay, so you said you have the bank statement. Normally, if you look at the bank statements, it'll tell you what check number they wrote out. Is there a way for you to get into that? Well, the bank statement is going to give you the bank statements that's already been released. You mean the account itself? When you purchase a buyer's check, it tells you the check number that they're issuing.
But no, so it's not. It's a business account. So what they do is it's a draft check. They print us the check. They print us the check.
It'll still show you the bank check number.
I don't know.
And all of this is coming from your account?
It's his account. It's Joe's.
Are you on his account at all?
Like, are you like an authorized user? Are you able to access the funds from his account?
I'm in the business part of the business account. Yes.
Okay.
But he's the main signer on the account. I'm just an authorized person on the account.
Okay. And each one of these checks you physically got from the bank?
No, only one of them. The first 2, we use our system to print our draft checks out.
What's
QuickBooks, which is what we use.
Use QuickBooks. Okay.
Yes.
Let me see that account. That check.
He's gonna have to open the account. I can't. So it's logging with basketball. No, I'm sorry.
So at the bank, when you physically went there to get the check, they never gave you an issue when it came to getting the check or obtaining it with, being now you finding out that there was no availability of funds. They never gave you an issue with that? They never.
I had pending deposits that were coming into the account. That's why they said, within 24 to 48 hours. And I asked them, and they said, no, we deposited. It takes a couple of days to clear.
And which bank did you physically go in person to?
The one today or the one?
The one today. Which one did you go in person to? Yeah. So they took you to a First Verizon location?
Yes, they took me. They themselves took me in the blue BMW. The guy drove me there. Oh.
That's your son?
Yes.
Were you ever arrested before?
Huh?
You ever arrested?
I turned myself in one time before.
For what?
In Port Charlotte.
You're gonna tell me.
Yeah, of course. No, it's it's insurance fraud.
Fraud.
And there was a job that we did in Port Charlotte. It's currently outstanding. There's an issue with the dispute between me and the customer as far as the work that was done and whatever not.
What type of work is it?
We do water damage, mold, and construction. So as of right now, I have a court date next month, and it is my understanding that the case is going to get dismissed because I provided them with all documentation of the work that we did do.
What was your first name?
Gertie.
Gertie?
Gertie.
Gertie. I'm sorry, they talking in my ear.
No, you're fine.
Gertie. Listen. You have a son.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
I've been doing this 23 years.
Okay.
Okay? You can see the other guy that's standing there. We don't even do this. We just happen to be in there to help out.
Okay.
Right? You being truthful is going to go a long way because they're going to pull everything.
Yeah.
They already have everything. Everything we have right now is showing fraudulent activity.
Okay.
Right? So we have choices of what to do, right? DCF can get involved. All these other problems because you have a child.
Okay.
My suggestion would be to be truthful and honest, exactly what you were doing. And we can determine what leniency we have if we're going to charge. That makes sense?
I understand.
Okay? Right now, you're in a bad spot. Your boyfriend or fiance or I don't know if you guys are married.
It's a child's father.
Child's father. Both in a bad spot. And you got a child. I have 4 children.
Okay.
One is young, he's a little older than him, and one probably almost your age. Okay? Let's start over. What was the deal? What was the deal?
We provided them a check
Okay.
for them to.
Did you know that the funds weren't available in the check?
The account is not under my. It's not under my name. So it's his account. We have funds. We had
It's
funds
his
pending.
account.
Yes, his
So the
account.
account was under his name.
Correct. And there's.
And you knew that the funds weren't available.
So when we originally turned in the check to them on Saturday, we knew the funds weren't available. They told me they were going to hold the check for a couple of days. I asked them, can I pay you with a business? And they told me, hey, the funds are going to, the check's going to be deposited on Monday.
Okay.
Or something like that.
And you brought another check.
And so, yeah, then they called me and said, bring me another check.
Was that check? Was the funds available?
Huh?
Funds available?
When I brought it, that check, yes. The
So they
funds were.
cashed that check.
Yeah, that's the check that we're supposed to cash, and then they called me today and they said that they couldn't cash it because it couldn't recognize it or something like that, and that's when they said, go to the bank.
So
The check was like, there was soda spilled on it or something, and
So they couldn't recognize the numbers on it? Is that what they're...
That's what they're saying on their end that it said. I don't know how true that is. When I called the bank told me that the check was never even attempted to be ran through. So that's when they
So
said.
where did you get the second?
Huh?
Where did you get that second check from?
From the bank. So the first check, we print our checks. We use QuickBooks to print our check from our business account. And we have multiple accounts. We have First Horizon, we have Sophie, we have multiple accounts. So we use QuickBooks whenever we're gonna pay a vendor, we print out the check. So that's where that came from. I gave
You did this. Are you on
And that's-
probation or parole?
no.
Yeah.
And so then that's what I did. And so the last thing it said was like, hey, have Joe come here to try to,
Yes.
Working backwards, like I said.
Yes. That's what he just said.
Chad and I agreed to let him go with this kid. Take her now because.
Correct. That's what me and Andy just had a whole conversation on. Because he was like, yeah, we can talk with him and see if he's willing to tell us. I heard that we know she did it. So I'm going to get her for the other end and then we'll grab that. But here's the issue. I'm missing. If we can talk to him
She
about.
just went to jail. You just turned yourself in for insurance fraud.
We need to see if they can transfer the cars because now we have to make it
Have
time.
somebody walk away and go on.
We need to figure out where it is or so we're going to put the
I don't
car
care
in
if
the
it's male or
time.
female. You don't got to.
So if somebody wants to do that, I'm going to grab all the 42 from the business from her.
Let me find. Stand by with her.
Yeah. Because Chung's inside there with her.
No, I know. Stand by just in case.
Yeah.
something happens and we gotta run in there.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
All right, just stand by it. Okay.
Is that all your stuff, ma'am?
This is just the one.
What's your name?
Gertie.
Gertie? My name's Eric, okay? Give me all your stuff.
All right.
Take off your bracelet before anything else goes on. Anything in your pockets, Gertie?
Yes.
What do you got?
Just my keys.
Just your keys? All right, switch them. Let them pray.
Pray.
Put your hands together.
Like
Like if
back
you're
your
gonna pray
hands.
but backwards,
Nope,
okay?
other way. There you
Other
go.
way. Other way.
You want them to you?
Yes.
You want to and Joe?
We're gonna talk
10-4. We'll have a black female, 10-15, reference 53, signal 19. Was it 19 or 18?
You want him to see it?
Not 18. I just need to speak to Joe just so you can tell me more.
5-6, actually be a signal 18.
Really like,
Handcuffs are tight. Hold on, wait. Just give her.
This analysis covers only the legal issues raised, not a retelling of the interaction itself. The central question is custody. Did Miranda apply before any warning was given? Miranda v. Arizona requires warnings only during custodial interrogation, not all police questioning. Under Berkemer v. McCarty, courts ask whether a reasonable person would feel free to leave. Nothing in the audio suggests handcuffs or physical restraint before the final minutes. That points toward non-custodial questioning, where Miranda warnings were not constitutionally required. But voluntariness is a separate legal question, governed by due process, not Miranda. Schneckloth v. Bustamante requires courts to weigh the totality of the circumstances. Promising leniency for cooperation is not automatically improper on its own. But pairing leniency with a reference to child welfare involvement raises real concern. Linham v. Illinois found a confession involuntary when tied to a promise about a defendant's children. This case is far less extreme than Linham, but the pattern deserves scrutiny before trial. Statutory framing is also imprecise. The interview references uttering, under Florida Statute 83102. That statute targets forged or counterfeit instruments, not simple insufficient funds. Florida Statute 83205. The worthless check law better fits checks that were genuine but unfunded. Charging the wrong statute can create defenses that otherwise would not exist. At the point of arrest, officers collected personal property before handcuffing. United States v. Robinson permits a full search incident to a lawful custodial arrest. That step, at least, was procedurally sound and constitutionally unremarkable. Grading the investigator, B-. The interview technique was lawful, patient, and legally well-targeted for a fraud charge. But leveraging DCF involvement alongside leniency was an avoidable pressure tactic. Grading the subject, C-. Answering extensive questions without requesting counsel created most of the legal exposure here. A single admitted fact, prior knowledge of insufficient funds, carried the most legal weight. Lesson 1. Miranda protects custody, not conversation. Voluntary talk is always usable. Lesson 2. Leniency offers tied to family consequences invite legal challenge later. Lesson 3. The charge cited on camera is not always the charge that survives review. Case outcome could not be confirmed and remains unknown at the time of this analysis. Let us know your legal read on this case in the comments below.